Hello, art students. Over the past few days, we've talked about watercolor techniques, but now we're going to get into a little bit more color theory. We're going to talk about two color schemes today: warm colors and cool colors. Stay tuned and learn a little bit more about these two color schemes. Looking back at our color wheel, you can pretty much divide the color wheel into these two categories. If I cover up all of the colors that have blue in them, then what we're left with are colors that feel warm. That's why they're called the warm colors. If we were looking at them in terms of colored pencils, it would be all of your reds and oranges and yellows, colors that remind you of fire, of things that are hot. And now the other way around, if we covered up the colors that have all of the yellow in them, then what we're left with are the colors that are more cool, and that is why they're called cool colors. These are colors that tend to have a more somber feeling to them. They are all coming from sort of the blue family. Cool colors with colored pencils, you would see green and blue and purple and everything in between. So today, we are going to focus on one of these color schemes, and it is the warm colors. Next week, we will be focusing on the cool colors. Here is an example of a piece of artwork that I made once using only warm colors. This was done with colored pencil, so I mixed my colors together and layered the colors, all different orange and yellow and red colors, and colors that come from orange and yellow and red. Next week, when we start working with cool colors, you might make an example that's more like this, that has all of our blue and green and purple colors in it. Today's assignment is going to be combined with Monday's assignment. So you'll want some paper that has enough room on it to be able to fit two different things, because we're going to do warm colors today and then cool colors on Monday. For our warm colors, you'll need a space about the size of your hand, and for our cool colors, you'll need a space about the size of your hand. Here I have one sheet of paper that I can fit both on. If you want to put warm colors up above, and then cool colors down below, that works perfectly fine. You want a space that's about the size of your hand. Now, I've been working on one sheet of paper for all of our experimenting and wet on dry and wet on wet techniques, and so today I'm going to focus on the warm colored areas where I've left a section of my paper empty for our warm and cool colors. I started by just drawing some shapes. For today's assignment, you can draw shapes. You can make blobs of colors, make lines, whatever you would like to practice doing, as long as you are using warm colors. Think about the techniques that I showed you in Friday's video about making sure that you are not dripping water everywhere and trying to turn your paintbrush so that it's always facing and pointing toward your pencil line if you are trying to fill in shapes and things like that. If you have been using tons of paint previously, try to lighten up on the amount of paint that you're using and add a little bit more water instead of more paint. So here I'm just layering my shapes. By the end, I should have all sorts of different warm colors all over this section of my paper. Warm colors have a tendency to pop when your eyes look at them. So if you're looking at artwork that has warm colors tend to look like they are closer to us, whereas cooler colors tend to look like they are further away. It's kind of an optical illusion, but you may start to notice it when you look at different artworks. The colors that I am using are all the colors that mix with and go with and come from red, orange, and yellow. We don't want to put any colors into today's assignment that have blue in them. Those we want to save for Monday when we start making our cool colors. I mixed some of my colors. This one right here, I mixed a little bit of orange and red together to make that one. As long as you are avoiding green and blue, and you're sticking with your reds and oranges and yellows, that is what today is all about. I'm gonna make yellow-orange. So in my paint tray here, I'm gonna pick up some yellow, pick up some orange, clean your paintbrush off in between. Today's assignment is to fill a space with just warm colors. Paint a picture if you'd like, or just make shapes the way I am, or just play with the paint, but only using warm colors. Submit a drawing of your warm colors on Monday. We're not even going to worry about it today. We'll submit them together next week once we've finished our cool colors. So for today, fill a space with warm colors.